my friend.
Tell the bands.
Dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. We go where we want to, place where they will never find. And we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind. We can dance. We can dance. We can go when we want to. The night is young and so am I. And we can dress real neat from our hats to our feet and surprise them with the victory cry. I said, we can act if we want to. If we don't, nobody will. And you can act real rude and totally removed, and I can act like an imbecile. Say, we can dance, everything's under control. We can dance, doing it wall to wall. We can dance, everybody look at your hands. We can dance, everybody's taking a chance. Who's to say to dance? Yes, to say to dance. Yes, to say to dance. Yes, to say to dance.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome live. Hopefully everybody's doing well. See who's out there tonight so far. And just a heads up, Jesse, I had to meet you. I couldn't take any more of listening to the 3D printer in the background. It was killing my ear. My apologies. Let's see. Lumi, DTF is out there. David Settles, that white guy. Lando's in the house.
Cracker.
The Nurse Vapes is out there.
Hey,
Raven
Nurse.
Shadow Vapes. Phil Putt Wheeler is in the house. And Divine is out there. What?
Ooh,
Hoss is in the house.
eye candy.
I know, right?
Drink it in, fellas. Drink it in.
Yeah.
The Brizzle's here. Who else is out there so far?
Voop. Taking a voop.
Voop is in the house. What's happening, Voop? And Wombatsky's out there, I see, as well. And there's
Oi.
a P. Larsack in there on the comments somewhere.
I saw him
Yeah, I saw that guy too.
creeping.
Creeping. So,
Creeper.
hopefully everybody's having a wonderful week. I'm going to jump right into things tonight because I have something I want to speak about when it comes to the advocacy portion of things. To start off the evening, I got the idea in mind, which it just happened to pop up that there was an article that came out on the 6th for the state of New Hampshire about raising the smoking vaping age from 18 to 21. A couple of small towns there have already done it themselves, and now apparently their state government is getting all behind them, saying, yeah, by all means, feel free to do so. This is one of those things that, as I was thinking about what to talk about for advocacy, I was like, this is a big one that pops in the mind. A lot of these things are labeled as being smoking for the kids, these types of things that they'll come up as tobacco related. But a lot of that tobacco related legislation that you see out there is directly related to vaping, or they've snuck it in with it because they're just trying to lump everything together. So in cases of like New Hampshire, what they're working on changing everything 18 to 21. And they're not doing it on a state level, but they're doing it on a city-by-city basis. Kind of like what you see going on with California, and each little city is starting to do all of their flavor bans. The state doesn't have to worry about doing that because it doesn't fit the big bill if all the little towns are going to continue to do that. So it's something that you do want to keep your eye out on. I don't even know if we have a viewer here from New Hampshire. But anyhow, the whole idea that just popped up behind that is pay attention to what you're seeing out there in the news, or what's popping up in your local area even, or towns that are in your state, period. Because those types of things, if one town flips, another one's going to go, oh, well, they did it, we can do it. It's harder to get on a grand scale statewide to get something passed than it is on a town level. The town level, it's a lot quicker and easier for them to pass it, less of a vote. If they put it onto a ballot or something like that, the chances of it going through are a lot less than what it would be on a city scale. So just a heads up, something I want you guys to think about and just pay attention to, because if it's labeled tobacco, it's vaping, whether it's tobacco only or not. It's something we need to pay attention to, because it's a slippery slope. If one domino falls, that next one right behind it is going to go. Yeah. So do pay attention to those things. What are your guys' thoughts on that type of thing?
Well, I know Fresh is probably chopping at the bit right now because of the whole 1821. So Fresh, go for it.
Yeah, my opinion is if you're going to do this, you need to change the legal definition of what an adult is.
Absolutely.
Because that's the whole point. That's the reason the drinking age was 18. That's the reason the smoking age was 18. You know, there's a reason for all of this, and it's the fact that you're an adult now. You can make adult decisions. You're supposed to be responsible for those decisions. I get it. I get why you want to change the tobacco age to 21, because you don't want seniors in high school to be able to buy for all their friends. I fucking get it. I get it. But if you're gonna do this, you change the voting age, you change the age for selective service, and you change the smoking, drinking, everything age to 21. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, and that actually would work here in the U.S. because that would give you essentially 3 free years of either you go to college, you go out and you find a job, get yourself a fucking skill, and then you become an adult.
Yep.
You know, the selective service thing for the military would hate it, but that's fine. You know, there's plenty of people trying to get in the military. I'm still a big fan of this concept that they do in Korea, and they actually do it all over the world, Israel, all sorts of places, where you have to give 2 years of your life to your country for whatever reason. You can be a cop, you can go pick up trash, you can go work on highways, you can go in the military, you can do whatever. But out of high school, you do 2 years. The only way that you get around that is if you go to college. And guess what's waiting for you at the end of college? 2 years. 2 years of service to your country. This actually does a lot of things. You do have to pay these individuals. You don't have to pay them a lot because you put them up for room and board. You give them food. So that wipes out a lot of it. It's how the Army gets away with underpaying people and keeping them under the poverty line for as long as they do. Well, all the military branches do. And that's why people that are, E4 and below wind up re-enlisting trying to get to that E5 because they're below the poverty level and they can't afford to get out. So they do this. So essentially, for 2 years, you've got cheap labor doing projects all over the country. You can devote the money that you would have spent on contracting out to these people to do something else. So I'm a big fan of this. The first time I heard about it is when I actually went over to Korea, and I saw it in effect, and it's impressive. It's impressive to see what they've done. The Korean military is a bunch of badass motherfuckers.
You know what makes me so happy about this?
What's that?
If this sign is in fact a real sign.
That is in fact a real sign.
Live free or die.
Yep. Welcome. Bienvenue. Bienvenue. Yes. Yeah, that is in fact a real sign.
And the irony behind that is their state motto.
Yes.
So that was another part of, like, in the little article that was written in there, I'll give them that credit, that they did state, hey, a lot of those people don't want their rights infringed on, which is why the state's not going to do it. They're just going to let the cities do it. So remember when we're saying that we can't do anything on a major level because we don't have the money for it. So we can't mess with things on the federal level. We don't have the lobbyists or enough firepower behind it to
Oh,
do it.
they really want to go after vapor on this congressional term. They really want to do it.
Yeah.
And see, this is where fighting on your local level is going to come in. You have to fight on your local level to stop things like this. So.
Yeah, because especially New Hampshire, you have no state sales tax, you have very little gun laws, but now they want the towns to, they're encouraging the towns to regulate vaping. I mean, come on, you can't have it both ways.
You can in fact have it. You can have
they
it both ways, but it needs to be.
They plan on it. Yeah.
It needs to be a democratic decision, not just an ordinance that we're putting up. It needs to. These things need to. This sort of thing needs to get put up because you're making a decision for an entire demographic. People that are age 18 to 20, all of a sudden they've lost one of the things that they had the ability to do. Obviously, nobody freak out about this. I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll grandfather in anyone that's between the ages of 18 and 21 when this goes in. So those people that are still 18 to 21 are still going to be able to buy their fucking cigarettes. Don't worry, the tobacco...
New Jersey didn't.
New Jersey didn't?
No, they did not.
Really? They just
that's surprising.
You're not old enough. Too bad.
I actually witnessed this. I was, this past summer, I was at the Jersey Shore. I was in a Wawa. Which most of you, anyone from South Jersey, Philly, they all know what Wawa is. Nick knows. And I'm getting my coffee, I'm getting my breakfast sandwich and everything. And there's a girl from Pennsylvania wanted to buy Juul pods. She was 20 years old. They would not sell her Juul pods. Pennsylvania, she can buy them. She can buy as much as she wants. It's 18. New Jersey's 21. Nope, sorry about your luck. Should have brought them with you.
Yeah, when Montana changed the smoking age from 16 to 18, they grandfathered in everybody, so I was able to still buy cigarettes. So yeah, generally that is what happens. They grandfather in anybody who's in the in between, and generally that's a little bit of the cash money is coming down from big tobacco, so that they can keep their dealings of death going. But yeah, I mean, does anybody in the comments disagree with my thoughts on everyone has to give 2 years of some sort, whether it's projects, whether it's working on projects, anything like that?
No, I think it's great.
I think it's something that's long overdue,
especially for us males, because we know as males, Lumi excluded, that when you're 18, you're still not an adult. You're still acting like a little fucking kid for the most part.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people that are 25 to 30 that are still acting like fucking kids. So,
yeah.
What they say, the technical brain maturity levels of 27 or 29 or some shit like that. I'm pretty sure nowadays with the internet, it's probably that maturity level's gone higher as far as age.
Yeah, I mean, we can't exclude the ladies. Ladies can be cops. Ladies can.
They can be in the military. They can serve.
Yeah,
they
can do anything.
Fire M16s. I mean, they can do anything.
Yeah.
That's it. But I guess I may have came about this the wrong way. This definitely the age thing matters, but I was more concerned when I was speaking this. I meant to just pay attention to your local level very closely. Because stuff like this, like if you look at what was happening, it was all local stuff. It wasn't anything on a state level, but it's something like you need to be in tune. Like Fresh said last week when we got this ball rolling, starting to do advocacy. Look at your city websites. Your city websites are going to tell you what's going on, what's on the dockets, when their meetings are. If you see something on the docket that's directly related, get your ass down there and talk about it. Put your 2 cents in, write something out. Don't go in there just blind raging, because that doesn't work. But go in there with a topic, something well written. Please don't curse in there. Please don't curse in there. Because the second you start cursing, that loses all credibility.
Yep.
Just pay attention to your local levels. That's really what I want everybody to get out of this, because it's definitely something that needs to be said and taken care of there. And before I go any farther into this, because I had one other topic I do want to talk about. I want to say hello to a couple other people that have popped in here. I see Addy Tooney's in the house now. Paul Zilla stopped in here.
Zilla,
haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, buddy? Lady Louisiana's in the house. R. Willoughby James. JTH is in the house.
JTH.
Hashtag McNasty is out here.
that's right.
All right. Look, Divine is going hard in the paint with all of the talking out there. I love it. Who else did I see? Oh, Robert Kite's in the house, too. You're welcome, Robert. Glad it made it to you finally. Sorry about that international shipping time. That stuff is kind of a pain in the ass. Tommy, how are you, buddy? The one other thing that I did want to talk about popped up in two forms today for me. One on Gregory Conley's Facebook page.
Yeah.
The other one showed up in the Wisconsin Vape Community page, which is fantastic because I got to see it twice today. The reason it is not fantastic is because, for lack of better terms, there is a doctor by the name of Tim, Sanborn, I think, if I remember correctly?
Yep. Something like that.
Tim Sanborn. He is the lead cardiologist at Freighter Memorial Hospital down in the Milwaukee area. He's their head of cardiology. For any of you who don't know, cardiologist is a heart doctor. I just want to make this very, very clear. Cardiology, heart. Lungs is pulmonary. Therefore, pulmonologist would be a lung doctor. But as it did state in this article, and well, not in the article, but I did see a few comments that clearly state this. Media sees a doctor of anything as a doctor of everything. So you can be a cardiologist, but I bet you know how to do brain surgery, don't you?
To a limited degree.
Yeah, but
took a class, you know.
He definitely took an undergrad class.
He did 6 months in rotation.
That's right. So he knows everything in that 6 months. He's got it figured out.
Yep.
Anyhow, this fucking dirtbag, and that's all I'm going to refer to him as, because if I ever have a heart problem and I have to go down to Milwaukee, I will not go anywhere near Freighter because of this cocksucker, because you can't trust what's coming out of his mouth. Because he has ties to anti-smoking groups, which is fine. I get it. You don't want kids to smoke, whatever. But you can't let that mix up your scientific evidence with your own personal beliefs. And this is where he had the big malfunction and was, I'm going to call it a malfunction. I like that instead of just calling him a dumb fuck, even though that's what he really is right now. He had a malfunction of thought, stating that nicotine causes certain types of health issues. Fine. That's perfectly fine. We know nicotine is about as dangerous as caffeine, and that's about it. But here's what really boggled my mind is he basically put it out there that smoking is safer than vaping.
Okay.
Look, I know all of us here, we've seen it. Another misguided fucking call from a healthcare professional. Air quoting this because professional, not very. Obviously, he's not done his research, and he's just talking from his own personal beliefs and his quit smoking groups that he was a part of in Illinois before he moved into the state of Wisconsin with his dirt bagginess, for lack of better terms. But he's spreading misinformation. The big one here, the biggest piece of misinformation here was your lungs will recover quicker from smoking a cigarette than they will from vaping, ever. I just fucking put the gun in your own mouth and pull the trigger, guy. That's all I can say. Or cut your tongue out, because spreading that type of false information is not a good thing. So pay attention when you are seeing news articles that you're catching all the facts in there, but we all know how to weed out the other bullshit. This guy should never have said anything like that. Because even look at I'm gonna say this. God, this is gonna burn my tongue when I say this. Even Scott Gottlieb at one point said he would much rather have everyone vape than to smoke. That burns my tongue saying that. Like it's literally on fire right now. So when you've got the doctor who's the head of the FDA that says this, and you still can't fall in line, you, sir, are an idiot.
This is that story, the Kenosha News story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This can I please? Because I'm getting ready. My head's about to fucking explode here.
Please,
all right,
have at it.
When let's face it, since the beginning of the internet, responsible journalism has fucking gone bye-bye. The Kenosha newspaper is just as responsible as this fucking imbecile down in Milwaukee. That's obviously he's getting paid off by fucking somebody because he's spewing propaganda that I just hope for his sake and his family's sake he doesn't believe the bullshit that he put out in this newspaper, because he should know if anybody, whether he's a pulmonologist, cardiologist, fucking lobotomy, whatever the fuck he wants to be, or he's a medical professional that people look up to, he can't be this fucking stupid. Did he get his degree in Mexico? And I apologize to anybody watching from Mexico, because it's obviously he could not have gotten a degree in the United States to be that fucking stupid.
I would think a school of witch doctory, maybe.
Something like that. And on top of that, I'm almost getting on a Meter rant here. Hey, Meter, how's it going, brother? But we're talking, you're John P. Lemming out there that's just going to fucking listen to anything they read on the internet and keep it as gospel. All of a sudden, you're going to start hearing, oh, well, I know somebody that got popcorn lung or this and that. And it's like, it's all going to come back on us once again. And there's no need for it because of irresponsible journalism. Hashtag fake news. This is the fakest news that I've seen in the last fucking 6 months.
Well, if you scroll further down the article, he goes on to say that nicotine is more addictive than heroin or cocaine.
Exactly. I had such a headache from this article that I wanted to snort a line of heroin, because that's how fucking aggravated I was when I read that story today. I was driving and I just wanted to put the truck in the fucking ditch and just be over and done with.
So
I would just like to interject one small point, if I may, real quick. I do understand where you're coming from in that point of view, Frank, but I would retort with this. I do agree that to a certain degree, journalism overall has had a little bit of degradation since the internet, because your National Enquirers, as they are, be that as they may, usually in print, now have the ability to go digital and spread virally that quick.
Yes.
But to that point, the few that still do it correctly, like, the I'm No Joe podcast, which does its due diligence research and has documented proof, still holds that journalistic integrity just a little higher than some. Hi, everyone.
Well, Meter, thank you for actually having journalistic integrity, because obviously it has gone awry somewhere in the mass media.
It's a thing.
Yep.
yeah.
Some of us still care about information being accurate. Not the president, but some of us.
Yeah, I actually took journalism classes, and that was one thing we learned was ethics. Well, obviously, if that same journalism class was taught here in 2019, I'm pretty sure the ethics part would have been left behind.
Well, the thing about journalism now is you can say whatever the fuck you want. You just have to print a retraction, and you print the retraction and you bury it in like the cooking section, where moms go and read, and they're not going to pay any attention to anything that isn't the recipe or a tip for streamlining your stroller or whatever fuck bullshit they're putting up this week.
Or to put in the classified section, in the classified section.
Put in the classifieds under like.
Or where the bankruptcies are, where they got a public they actually have to publish that shit. They just throw it in there somewhere. that nobody sees it. Yeah.
Maybe the missed connections section. Like, we really fucked this up. Sorry, guys.
Someone
Remember
said
Erwin?
During an FDA meeting.
Remember last week when you were reading about the dangers of vaping? Sorry.
Right.
It was all bullshit.
I can see it now.
Well, no,
You,
I mean
FDA lobbyist reading bullshit. Me, uninformed average Joe. Misconnection.
No hashtag McNasty. No.
Yeah, that was one article that I wish I didn't find today because it ruined my fucking day.
Meat for coffee later.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I will say this though. There was one good thing that I did find about Wisconsin since this bullshit, and it actually came out on the, I think it was on the 6th or 7th. It was on CASA's website, stating that Wisconsin is one of the more vape-friendly states, and then this
It's
bullshit
true.
comes out right after it.
Exactly.
Well, no, this is
You're
just
like,
this is just some new guy. I just finished reading the whole thing, because I pretty much stopped reading when he said that vaping causes oil to coat your lungs and that you're going to get lipid pneumonia from it. You know, had he said something like this back in 2006, he may have been correct. We no longer do any of that stuff. We know better. But this is some new guy who's just joined the hospital staff, trying to make a splash, trying to make a name for himself, trying to be that guy in the community who can push for the Tobacco 21, because that's pretty clearly the agenda. Like, their agenda is like the things he's saying. It's like A, B, and C on their fucking playbook. Like
Yeah, he's checking the boxes.
you know, hit the C gap and tell everybody about lipid pneumonia. If that doesn't work, pitch it back to the quarterback, and we'll flea flicker it down there and tell everybody how nicotine is more addictive than fucking heroin. Like this is their playbook A, B, and C. Like anybody, and you're right, Frank. It really is fucking infuriating because there's people in Kenosha, Wisconsin, who are gonna fucking read this shit. And they're gonna be impressed with this motherfucker, and they're gonna want to hear more about what he says. And this dude's gonna wind up with a fucking editorial every week to where he can push his fucking pharma big tobacco agenda onto everybody's fucking newspaper, and disguise it as being public health. And public health it's so fucking far gone. Like, there's so many things that are so wrong with public health. Like, there's some really good ideas, like harm reduction is a really, really good fucking idea. But then you go to like the needle exchanges, and they're like, dude's bringing in like a bag, like he's bringing in a Ziploc bag with a needle and leaving with a fucking box, and he goes and dumps the box of fucking needles all over the goddamn streets. Like, there's some really, really good fucking ideas out there, like needle exchange, awesome idea.
Exactly.
1 for 1 needle exchange.
Yep.
You give me a needle, I give you a needle back.
Yes.
Then you're not, your chances of winding up with HIV and AIDS, they go way down. Even though HIV and AIDS is way down anyway right now because of the needle exchange programs and the safe sex programs that are going on.
Then education, exactly.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
education, not this propaganda education that they're trying to pass on to the John Q. public out there. And then on top of that, you have. I'm almost losing my train of thought because I was so pissed off about this article. Isn't there a piece in there talking about the Wisconsin tobacco, like anti-tobacco or tobacco-free kids Wisconsin branch or some bullshit in this fucking article?
He's been a member of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it links to a YouTube video that's like full of propaganda where this lady's talking about like flavors, and I don't want my kids to have that. Well, they're not for kids, so
Exactly.
don't let
They're
your
for us.
kids buy them or get their hands on them.
You know what, lady? If you don't want if you don't like my vaping flavors, you're never allowed to eat fucking cheesecake again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It'll
don't
help
ever
you-
want to fucking catch you with a fucking gummy bear in your mouth.
Exactly.
Or peanut butter and
And a
jelly.
lot-
Put the fucking peanut butter and jelly down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not allowed
Exactly.
to. You're not
A lot of those
allowed.
same
You're not
people-
allowed to eat fucking cereal anymore.
Yeah, because only
Well,
kids.
and
like
those same
sweet
people, those
fuckers.
same people that cry about those flavors for their kids are going to go out this weekend and have them sell some whipped cream flavored vodka and get fucking white girl wasted. So as far as I'm
Oh, you better
concerned,
believe
their
it.
opinion means
Or
less than baby shit.
Crown Royal Apple.
Oh, dude, it's whipped. It's whipped cream fucking pumpkin spice vodka city out here now. Like it's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
all
dude.
over the
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the daggum place. Like they can
Hell
they
yeah.
can have their latte, they can get all hyped up on their lattes, and then go have some fucking alcohol as a downer and fucking hope that does the trick. Good fucking luck.
Yep.
Or just do Red Bull and vodkas and stay up all night playing poker.
Right,
Oh,
crush your
man.
liver, but vaping's bad for
Good
you.
old
But let's
days.
go crush our livers. Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember
You know-
one of the worst nights I ever had drinking was when me and my buddy decided we were drinking Irish coffee all fucking night long. Really bad fucking idea. Like wasted and wide awake at like 5 in the fucking morning.
Yeah, and then the next day when the volcano comes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a
or
really bad idea.
you're in some dive bar in Atlantic County, New Jersey that has the same no last call as Atlantic City because they're all in the same county, and it's like 9 a.m. and you walk out and the sun just hits you in the face like a fucking laser.
No bachelor, you can have all the fucking Crown Apple you want, just like they can have all the fucking whipped cream vodkas that they want. They just have to
Yeah.
leave my fucking vapor flavors alone.
Exactly.
Like
Mind your
if I,
fucking business, stay in your lane, bitch.
Yeah,
If
was it the Swedish gummy fucking vodka? And then guess what? I'm gonna fucking vape all the Candy King shit I want.
exactly if I
Just change my coils every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
exactly
right.
if I want a Pedialyte fucking vape, you can pry it from my cold dead goddamn hands.
Right.
And right, I need to rehydrate.
That's right.
It's got electrolytes. It's got what plants crave.
No, like there's a new bill. There's a new bill just got introduced. It's gonna be restricting flavors. It's gonna be pushing the age to 21 nationally. Like it's the full gamut. They've started already. I think it's HR 293. So yeah,
Isn't that another Pelosi Schumer fucking bullshit?
no, it's no. They've got a scapegoat. They got a new scapegoat. She's new to Congress. She's the one who's fucking doing it.
It's not that hot chick from New York, is it?
No.
I was
No.
gonna say she seems like she's fucking cool.
Let me get her. There she is. She's right there.
She look like the Crypt Keeper, like Nancy
Rosa
does?
DeLauro. Rosa DeLauro. Feel free to look her up. She does kind of got a Crypt Creeper vibe. She's a purple-haired granny that likes scarves.
Evening, boys and ghouls.
I love
Was she from like Arizona or something? Or
Where is she from? Let me look.
yeah, what idiots voted her ass in?
Connecticut.
Oh, there you go.
I want to talk about it.
Sorry, Tommy and Christine and Andrew O'Bright, but the rest of your state's a bunch of fucking idiots.
Hey, I'm from Connecticut.
Well, you don't live there now. You didn't vote
escaped.
there, did you?
No, but my family lives there.
Well, I'm sorry.
We need to influence their voting.
Well, your
Yeah.
family's a bunch of idiots.
That's right. Nick Devine finally chimes up. Your entire family's idiots, Lumi. They're idiots.
I'm sorry.
You escaped while you could.
Drink it in.
We love you, Lumi.
I don't know why anybody's apologizing for Tommy either.
Why would you apologize for Tommy Vapors? Like if there's one person on this planet that I'm not apologizing for, it's Tommy fucking Vapors. Because if he takes something too far, A, he's either gonna own it, or B, he's gonna run it even fucking further. One of the two.
Or C, Tammy's going to take responsibility.
He's probably like,
Yeah.
I voted for her. She's the hottest one.
That, you know what? That would be it might be a sad truth that she might have been the hottest candidate up for fucking Congress. Oh, but yeah, no, she looks like a little bit of a nightmare. But yeah, she's the one who introduced it. So yeah, we've already got our first one, and we're how many fucking days into this shit?
What? 8?
And the government's
9?
still shut down. So fuck it all. We can do what we want. Let's push everything through. Nobody can stop us.
Just waiting for
The
the purge to
purge.
start.
The purge.
Waiting for the purge to start, baby.
Yeah, we can't pay the fucking Coast Guard, but we're gonna hold the entire country hostage for fucking 1 billion steel slats to cover this thing. Like the people that are out there supposed to be enforcing it, like they're not paying them. The Coast Guard's not getting paid. Everybody.
TSA's not
It's
getting
the Secret
paid.
Service.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring whatever you want on the airplane right
Well,
now. Because TSA don't. They can give
TSA
a
doesn't
fuck right
fucking TSA doesn't fucking matter anymore. They privatized it. Like they don't fucking matter anymore. TSA is a thing of the past.
Although I did read an article about TSA they have had a record number of people calling in sick during the government shutdown since they're not getting paid.
Imagine that.
Yep. Yeah, it seems they've run out of fucks to give.
Yeah, that's right.
But make no mistake, they said, we're still in force. It will not delay anybody from catching their flights.
Oh, but
Exactly.
believe it, I've got a flight to catch tomorrow morning. You know what time it's at 9:30. You know what time I'm fucking leaving here? 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be at the airport by 6.
Yeah.
So, and one other thing that I did see that I did want to talk about, it's not really advocacy related, but I can kind of tie it in somehow, I guess. I don't know if you guys have seen the video or anyone else out there. Was it Vaping with Vic, and then I think Vaping with Twisted 420 put it out on Vupu, sponsoring a channel that caters to children under the age of 18. They're a UK-based channel, and they did a video out there on the Vupu Drag 2, I think it was, and they left it unrestricted for age, and then went back, took it down, and then put it back up age restricted after enough outcry from people saying, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, we were vaping some kind of, what was it? Not helium, some
bullshit. They said they were putting liquid helium in it.
That's what it was.
And then adjusting the sound in the video so people thought that they were talking all squeaky voice.
Yeah. And supposedly Vupu sponsored that.
Yeah, and it's a channel that caters to kids. It's not an adult channel. It's not like walking into anybody in here's YouTube channel. We know we're catering to adults. So if we say go fuck yourself, it's
we mean
perfectly
go
all right
fuck
'cause
yourself.
It's an adult channel. It's none of the I have is monetized, so I don't give a fuck about that. But it's one of those channels where they promote all that stuff, and so I figured that was a good thing that a lot of people have stepped up to the plate and said something about it. Because
here's the thing:
what is wrong with you? This giant company sending something out to the person who's running the channel may be an adult. Perfectly okay with that. They're a vapor, awesome. But if you're making a video that caters to children with a vaping device, A, you're a shitbag, and B, Vupu is shitbags for sending it to somebody that they know that caters to children. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, here's the thing, TJ. Oh, go ahead, Meter. I'm sorry. I've been ranting enough. Go ahead, Meter.
Go ahead, Frank. You're on a roll. I'll let you go.
Here's the thing. Like, someone had brought this to my attention. I think it was like late last week or whenever, right after it came out. And I was like, I refuse to watch this garbage because I do not want to give this guy any more views. And then I was attacked, being told that I don't advocate because I would not pay attention to this fucking retard. And I apologize to the mentally handicapped out there because this guy is a fucking tard. Okay, because what he did in that video, because I did go back and I went like, all right, well, what's everyone talking about? Let me watch a few minutes of it. And I couldn't get past like the first 5 minutes. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not giving this guy any more of my view time because it's just totally irresponsible, totally stupid. And I'm not even sure if he's really a vapor or is it just somebody on his, it's not just him, it's a bunch of his buddies or what have you. And they have like 4 million subscribers. And they got a hold of it, someone's being sponsored by Vupu, and because Vupu obviously they must not know any better because that's just they've had enough bad publicity over the last year, 18 months with Tony B, and now this bullshit coming out. It's just like I'm throwing my hands up. I don't own any Vupu devices. If someone wants to give me one, I may use it, but I ain't going to show anybody on here. It's like fuck that, because they're like rich. I don't know. They're just I'm a fucking mess right now.
Yeah, it's messed up. They probably feel like, whatever, the vaping community turned on us, so fuck it. We're going to do whatever we want to make our fucking money.
I mean, they're getting the publicity they want, so, I mean...
Yeah.
No, see, exactly. I'm on the other side of the fence that apparently everyone else is. Like, for one, the dude's channel doesn't cater to kids. He just runs a prank channel. Everybody knows that there are more dumbass 23-year-old college girls watching those prank videos than there are 12-year-olds. For two, they only sponsored that video. The reason they did that is because the guy has a metric fuck ton of followers, and by sponsoring one video, by sending him a piece of device that they can tax write off, they're going to get potentially hundreds of thousands of views. On the other side of this, every single company does this. The problem is most people don't get it thrown in their fucking faces like Vupu is, because they've got a history of having drama associated with their brand name. But you have to think, they're not going out of their way to try and lure kids in. What they did was a smart business tactic. They saw a YouTuber with a large following that's devoted, thought that one tax write-offable item out of their inventory sent to this guy, getting a little screen time, might get him a little bit of a boost in sale. And I understand that, because if you're looking, as they say, if you're always acting like a hammer, everything you see is going to be a nail. Like, you have to give it the benefit of the doubt and look at it from a separate point of view, detach yourself from the situation and look at it. It doesn't appear to be malicious from an outside point of view. It looks like a cheap business maneuver that they use as a tax write-off to try and get themselves a bunch of publicity. Now, would I personally have recommended them doing this with this particular guy? Fuck no. That being said, I can understand it.
I can understand the business aspect of it perfectly fine, but still a poor move on their part, considering when they know what's at stake. Because, if you're looking at it, it's like, to be honest, it reminds me of some of those fly-by-night companies where they're here to quick make their buck, and once shit goes up, they've already made their money. They don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And I think that's, in my eyes, that's where something like this is coming from, because it may not have been malicious in intent. It may have been just for their business purposes, and that, I get it. Business is business. I can't fault you for thinking money-wise, because shit, I do it myself sometimes. But on the same side of that, if you're a company that wants to continue to make money, you have to think about the long-term effects of everything you're doing. Look at Juul, for example. They removed all of their previous fucking ads and anything that looked like it could be misinterpreted to be dictated towards children. Same concept here. I just don't think they were thinking in the long term, and they made a smart but poor business choice. Smart in the short run, terrible in the fucking long game, because that's why everybody's going to be up in arms about it, because we know what's at stake. Yep. Those cocksuckers, this is the only thing that's at stake for them right this instant. Exactly. But they're really going to be going like this when the fucking shit goes tits up, because they're not helping with the problem doing stuff like that.
Well, and that's part of the thing, is that you have to realize, as much as America is a consumerist nation, and we very much are, we don't put a fucking drop in the bucket compared to the Chinese market. And now with this move, it looks like, at least to me from this outside point of view, they were trying to tap into that UK market, because that's where this guy is. Because everybody knows, if you're running a TPD tank versus America tank, you're filling that bitch 93 times a day, even on an average vape level. So if they can get more of their products into a market where there's a constant need for more and newer things because of the restrictions like the TPD, there you go, man. I mean, like I said, it's not smart, and I wouldn't have recommended it, but it's a business move. And the thing is that all of the Chinese companies do that, because as much as we do put a dent in their market, it's not enough to really make them look at it from the business point of view that this is fucking stupid for us in the long run. At least what I think.
I think you're right with the whole business thing goes like this. They figure, all right, this may not be best. This may not show that we have a lot of dignity putting this here, but the people that have any dignity in the vaping business ain't fucking with us anyway. So we might as well just do this and get more customers.
And then on top of that, if it goes tits up, this is a perfect "we're sorry" opportunity for them.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's
everybody
the thing.
Loves a comeback story.
Yeah, nobody has any like VP, like they don't have any PR, like any PR fucking, like, why don't, like, do something if something like that happens, like where, you know, you get into drama with something in the, like, how about instead, like, do something good, like try to redeem yourself in some way. I'm sure Tony B doesn't want to talk to him anyway here, no apologies, and there's nothing you could do for that, but maybe, you know, mend some bridges in other ways, like do charity. I mean, how many of us have done charities just in this small community? Like how could it, a business like that, they could do something big, and instead, like, nobody thinks like that, and it's weird. It's just weird that you don't think like that. Like, why don't you try to shed a good light on the community in some kind of way when you're that high up and you have an issue? That's what you're supposed to do in real life, really.
So
well, they don't give a shit though, because their business model is totally different than what we have over here in the United States. Ethics is not part of their business model over there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is just that. It's just business to them. This isn't a personal investment like it is for those of us who have a literal investment in this community. To them, this is a sheet of paper that's got numbers down it, and the more that those numbers go up, the better that their business runs. Whereas from our side, that they push shit down the community without thinking of the repercussions, the more apologizing and explaining we have to do to clear it up to the average uneducated person.
Yep, like saying
devil's lettuce.
Oh, all right. I'll shut up. I'll just let the devil's lettuce talk for us.
no, I mean this, like the Voopoo Drag 2, it still sells fucking gangbusters. None of this matters to them. Like
exactly.
It's exactly like Meter and Nick and like everybody's been saying. None of this fucking matters to them. Like, they have zero this is a Chinese company that has zero investment. And like the thing with Tony V, like how much did that affect their sales? It didn't even flick the numbers at all for them. Like, they don't care. And they're not going, it's not even a blip to them. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. And like the message that this is going to reach, the people that this is going to reach, like everyone going up in arms on Instagram and shit about Voopoo doing this, it's gonna blip the radar with the exact same people that it blipped before, and they're not going to buy Voopoo products. Guess what? If I go down here to one of the vape shops, I'm sure I can. If I sat there for an hour and a half, someone's going to walk in and buy that pretty little fucking Voopoo drag mod because it looks neat.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't, like it, yeah, exactly. So it does. None of this matters to them. None of this matters to them. Like all of it, like us getting up in arms. It's all fine and dandy. We can say we're not going to buy it. We're not the audience that they're promoting to. The audience that they're promoting to are those 23-year-old college girls that are sitting over in the UK watching this dude fucking, pull pranks. Like that's who it's aimed at. We don't matter. The hobbyists, the people that care about the community, there's a reason they don't go after open systems here in the U.S. They're terrified to go after open systems because we're the ones that are going to fucking get all up in arms about this shit.
Yeah, we're less than 1% of the whole vaping population.
Yeah, but we're also the most vocal. We're the ones out here like every time something goes on, like we've been doing this entire show, just screaming at the audience. Stop fucking buying Voopoo. Go vote for anybody but this old, fucking purple-haired skeleton from Connecticut. It's just... Skeletor.
I feel so bad. I feel like I need to just hide in a corner because my regulated mod is a Voopoo.
Oh, man.
But Lumi, this was America.
But Lumi, you bought that probably before you really knew better, so... It happens. It's okay. Continue to use it because it's already been purchased. They already got their money from that one. So continue to use it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not gonna be the person to be fucking saying anything bad to anybody who has Voopoo of any sort. That doesn't matter. The part that really matters is you're not on the stinkies. If it means you're using a mod from possibly shady business practices, I don't give a fuck as long as you're not smoking. Now, we're not going to change their minds because, like I said, Asian business way different than American business, big time. So it's not anything we're going to change. For them, it's just a business maneuver, but definitely something worth pointing out that. Guys can take a look at. Take it as you will. It's up to you. I'm not telling you to think one way or another about it. I don't, to be honest. It's completely up to you. I'm not here to change your mind. If I was, this would not be this type of channel. I I'm not here to influence anyone to one way or another. It's completely up to you. It's kind of like talking politics. I'm not going to force you to be a Democrat. I'm not going to force you to be a Republican. I'm not going to force you to be some alt-right bastard or alt-left. I don't give a shit. My main goal here is that we're having fun and we're not on the stinkies. And if that comes with both situations and some fun, why not?
And in both situations, it's not so much about taking a side, it's about being informed enough to know the difference in the sides that are being taken.
It's exactly. It's about being informed enough to make your own fucking decisions about things.
Right. The information is the only thing that really matters. Taking a side doesn't make a shit either way. It doesn't matter if you're only right or you're only left or you're only this or you're only that. The only thing that really matters is that you're seeking and sharing the information that is required to make an educated decision about something.
Word.
I just got a text in from Ned about Daytime Frank saying 1% of the vaping community. He said that between me and him, we're 40% of the vaping community.
Got it, Ned. Right you are. Right as always, Ned.
Bold words from Ned.
Yeah. Well, Ned designed that goalpost that got bought by Soldier Field as well, I think.
Fuck you, Ned.
Hashtag double doink.
It's a good thing I'm not like
double doink.
Die-hard freaking sports fan, because I would have been fucking crying. It was so depressing, dude. So sad.
I want to put this out here for every... God, I hate to do this because this sounds so dirty coming out of my mouth because I'm a Packers fan.
I know where he's going.
Oh, boy. For every Bears fan that is out there, I want you to know this. If you've paid attention more than just how pissed off and raging everybody is at your kicker, don't be. If you go back and actually look at the stats from that game, that kick was technically blocked. It was thrown off of its course.
Tavon Hester.
Really tinked it, went off course just enough to cause the double doink. So don't kill your fucking kicker, please.
Even if he is the second worst kicker in the season.
You can kill him for the other one, but not for that specific kick. That was a weird off course.
The other 5 this year, he hit all by himself.
Yep, those ones were his.
Yeah, but this one really fucking mattered, man.
And in 2015, when he ruined a perfectly good night by missing a kick in the Georgia Dome when he was still kicking for the Eagles, yeah, fuck him.
Well, to be fair, in his defense, had his center snapped the ball on the previous play, literally 2/100ths of a fucking second faster,
that was timed.
Cool.
That was timed.
Yeah, they checked that.
That's what I'm saying. You should have known that was coming because that's a standard. You should have tried to quick snap that motherfucker if you got your kicker ready. And they took their time, they ran it down, and sure enough, as they got that shit out, that motherfucker went straight through the fucking uprights, but it didn't make a bit of difference. He could have had it. That one could have counted.
And he even knew he was going to get iced there. He was just kind of like lollygagging, just kicked it, and I looked at him like, oh, yeah, we're fucked.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you knew that's a standard maneuver. That's a very typical play for that particular situation. You should have anticipated that shit, especially in a game that important for your season. Come on, man.
Terrible.
And I didn't have any dog in the fight. I was just watching because I got friends on both sides and I wanted to know who to make fun of.
I'm not going to lie. I was wondering what was going to happen putting DTF and Adam in the same room this week.
Hey, I'm humble. The second the game was over, I congratulated Frank.
Yeah, he did.
And I'll be rooting for the Eagles for the rest of the fucking year.
Well, this week we have something that's never happened before. 2 Super Bowl MVP quarterbacks that went to the same high school are going against each other this Sunday.
My neighbor was telling me about that.
You know,
it was a really weird connection.
Nick Foles and Drew Brees went to the same high school in Austin, Texas.
I'm going to put it out here. Frank, my condolences this week. It's
going to be tough.
That's a tough go now.
This isn't the same team that got smoked 48-7 now. I don't have high hopes, but if this happens, Carson Wentz is going to be a giant. He's going to get traded.
Yeah, more than likely. What else we got going on out there now that we're past all of the craziness that I thought was only going to take up about 10 or 15 minutes? But we're a fucking hour into this sumbitch already. That was impressive. Yeah.
Like it.
Oh.
Content.
Had a lot to cover.
We're some advocating motherfuckers.
You know, I'm glad because you know what I said. That's really what I wanted to do at the beginning of the show. I'm sorry it ran this long, but I'm not at the same time. Yes, I want to get into shenanigans, have fun, talk shit, tell people to go fuck themselves with a big black dildo. But you know, advocacy is way more important. So, yeah. So what do you guys got going on this week? Now that we're this deep into it.
I got a good chuckle out of Sean Payton's Super Bowl motivation. Did you guys see that today?
Mm-mm.
So he goes. Apparently, he went and got $225,000. That's the Super Bowl bonus for if the Saints win the Super Bowl. He went and got $225,000 in cash. Went and got the Saints Lombardi trophy. Put it on top of that. Rolled it into the locker room. Said, "Do you guys want this?" When they answered, he said, "All right, go win 3 fucking games," and left.
Yeah, and Nick Foles is getting $1 million for every playoff win. That's in his contract. So
Holy shit.
That's fantastic. That's a good way to motivate your boys.
yeah, when that kick went off the upright, Nick Foles was like, "Yes, I just won another $1 million." He got $1 million for the Redskin game, and they gave it to him. He was like 5 snaps short when he came out of that game late. 4 snaps, yeah. And they paid him anyway. Like, yeah, you earned it. Here's $1 million. And then, oh yeah, you beat the Bears. All right, here's $1 million. Now go beat the fucking Saints, and we might give you $2 million. I don't know.
Jeez.
Here's $1 million, and another $1 million may show up in in some wrapping paper.
He likes money.
Just saying, the rate he's going, I doubt that they get rid of him, even though he's at the end of his contract.
He ain't going nowhere.
That's a totally different team when he's out there.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to keep him around at least for a little while.
And the thing is, even if he's the backup and they still keep both of them, he doesn't give a shit. He was getting ready to retire 3 years ago. He don't care. He's happy. He's happy to be on the team. If he's a part-time player and he's making big bucks and has a hot wife and he's got a kid to raise, he could care less. That's what's great about him. He don't care. No ego, no nothing. He just knows he wants to go out there and do the best he can.
Okay. Meter, are you ready for tomorrow?
I almost. There's a
I'm
couple
just
more
saying,
things that I still have to research, but almost.
I got a couple things I'm ready to talk about. Not to mention there's a solid date for one said fighter that I do want to talk about.
Yes.
And the changes and shit that has happened in the last 72 hours.
Yes, that's exactly what I still have to do a little bit more research on, just so that I'm not talking completely out of my ass, just mostly.
It's okay. That's why we're armchair quarterbacks when it comes to that. It's fine.
But still, it's that hashtag journalism.
Yeah, fair enough.
Something changed in the last 72 hours, huh?
There's a whole bunch of shit that's happened in the last 72 hours.
It has officially been confirmed that John Jones will be fighting in March. On
he got out of prison?
235.
Yep. Him and Anthony Smith.
Oh, I thought that was already set, but it's in stone, March.
It's official. The card, that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about tomorrow, is the card for 235 has officially been announced for the most part. There's still a couple of prelims and early prelim fights that are getting swapped around, but holy fucking shit. This literally might be the biggest fucking card the UFC has ever put together.
It's fantastic.
I like how the schedule's looking. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about it tomorrow, but I like how the schedule's looking for the year. I like that there's one pay-per-view a month and everything else is ESPN, Fox, whatever. Or ESPN, right? It's everything ESPN. I believe.
Yep. ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Yep. I like that. So every week you'll have something on ESPN besides the week that it's on paper.
Basically.
Yeah.
I want to make an Addie's yogurt candle.
It's already been done.
Has it? Oh, God, it smells so good. I just made a bottle right now.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had some.
It's full.
Well, Fresh, you know that tribute recipe I made for for the giveaway show.
Yeah, that turned out really nice.
What do you think about that Jungle Flavors Bavarian Cream after it's steep, though? It got dark.
Yeah. I think that's what was giving that chocolate vibe.
Yeah, because Mary Beth even said it to me because she mixed it up too. She's like, "Have you tried that since that show?" I'm like, no." She's like, "You might want to go back and revisit it." I'm like, "Oh, damn, that did get dark."
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice though. It's really nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just mixed a couple of experimental recipes for Montana, so
Nice.
for my trip.
Ooh.
Should have plenty of liquid. If not, there's 2 vape shops in town. I can go grab some fucking keyberry yogurt or wherever the fuck it is.
Keyberry, I love keyberry yogurt. That was one of my favorites.
I haven't had that in so long. Jeez.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
They totally ripped off my recipe, but you know what?
Bastards.
That's fine.
That's what happens when we put it out there public.
I mean, to be fair, I stole it from Ned, so. Steve-O! Yeah, what else has been going on this week?
Something that we were talking about last week on the shutdown stuff. The
Government shutdown?
Yeah, in regards to the government shutdown, just a little heads up. I did see that they did put a memo, the White House put a memo out that says the IRS will take care of all tax returns, even if the government shutdown is still going on.
Of course they will.
Yeah, they brought on an extra 40% staff just to make sure that they had processing power, even though the government's still on hiatus.
Yep. So if you guys were worried about not getting your tax returns or having to pay in taxes, there you go. It's
I'm definitely paying this year.
With his new tax plan, I'm one of the ones that slips through the cracks where I'm getting fucked.
Yeah, so I'm because I got a little bit of a raise, but then I also elevated a step. So in government, you're in a grade and then you get steps in the grade. So I went up a step in my grade, and then I got a little bit of a raise, and then this will be the first year that I got enough YouTube money to actually fucking make a report on. So.
Oh shit!
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Got a stripe on his belt.
Yeah, does YouTube actually send you a 1099?
I'm assuming that's what they're gonna do. I haven't gotten in the mail yet, so I don't know.
Won't they?
February.
But since you've been donating all of that money, you can write it all off.
Yeah, but I've been donating it to vaping charities for the most part, which don't count.
Yeah, they're not
Are they
403Cs or 501Cs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as long as they're 501Cs, it should count. But you'd have to verify to make sure that they were actual 501Cs with their documentation.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I think the only one you got the last one when you did 135 or whatever it was for St. Jude's.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it all is what it is. It all is what it is. But I'm definitely paying some money this year. Definitely.
Lando's big news for the week: he does not have hemorrhoids this week.
That's fantastic, Lando. So the inflatable donut that we stuck on your fucking butt plug, that took care of the problem.
At least for
Good
this
to
week,
hear.
it seems.
Never say that we're not considered over on Fresh from the Kitchen, Lando.
I thought maybe you just put some WS-23 on it and just numbed it.
I mean, Lumi, if that's what Lumi wants, if that's what Lumi does when I'm not looking, I have zero issue with her mentholating his asshole.
I do
Allegedly.
nothing in preparation. He gets no kindness. He gets it raw.
Just dry.
Preparation. Good one.
There we go.
That answers that question.
That is rough.
Oh.
And the strawberry pound cake actually turned out good after a few days.
All right.
Oh, he had him
He burned him off.
cauterize him. Oof. Cauterized his butthole.
The hot ass.
That sounds like a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready for the trip. Just getting ready for the trip.
In case you guys...
Where are you going for?
Hmm?
Where are you going and what for?
I'm going back to my hometown in Montana to go hang out with family. Go to the hot springs. That's the real draw. That's the real draw, is hot springs.
I'm going to bathe, he says.
Is that the only thing in Montana this time of year that's not frozen?
No, I think it's supposed to be in the 40s and 50s the whole time I'm there, which is kind of typical. Montana winter isn't what people think it is. Like it gets, it gets really fucking windy, and you get some cold snaps, but you know it stays fairly mild because of the southwest Chinooks that come up. So you get southwest winds that come up and warm everything up.
That makes sense.
But and then there's that time of year when it drops to like -35 for weeks at a time. Yeah. That's the cold snaps. But they've already had their snow. There'll probably be some snow on the ground, but there'll definitely be some snow on the ground up in the mountains. But for the most part, out on the Great Plains, like it's not at all what people think it is.
Yeah, we're calling for 5 to 8 this weekend.
Yeah,
we've already doubled our annual average snowfall. Now we're about to triple it.
That's what she said. 5 to 8, huh?
Depends on how happy she makes it.
It says making the drill sergeant stand at attention. Meter.
Jesse, you can unmute now.
Yeah, you're good.
If you want to.
Jesse's still here?
Jesse, you just have to make yourself look really busy if you don't have anything to say.
Yeah. Put a drill in front of you, son.
Yeah. Put a drill, start braiding. Then nobody will question your silence.
Here. Fucking plunger something. Do something. Do a trick. Alright, now what I want you to do is get one of those really long drill bits. So I'm talking sideshow action right now. Like one of those like 8, 10, 12-inch bastards. Straight up the fucking nose. FYI, good way to clean out your sinuses.
Just bore them out. Make sure you push on your eyeball so that you know you're not getting too close to the optic nerve.
Yep.
That's what we have to do when we were drilling out people's sinuses in the OR. Like you're sitting there in the dock, sitting there working the little swivel, and you have to push on the eyeball. You're watching the ceiling to make sure you're not getting too close to the eye.
There's such a thing as sinus drilling?
Yeah, you go and you drill out people's sinuses so that it's just one big sinus.
Wow.
Instead of a bunch of sinuses.
Interesting.
People that have like chronic sinusitis.
This guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really, really unpleasant surgery, and it's a horrible recovery.
Yeah, I remember them telling me about that.
They're the ones that didn't do cocaine.
And then it's totally for there's been we worked on plenty of people that did plenty of cocaine.
You would think that would already abort it out, you know.
That's how we learned how to do.
It bores out that bores out the lower parts. It doesn't bore out the stuff where all the goop and stuff gets stuck.
Yeah, and that is unless you're laying upside down and snorting the cocaine upside down.
That's entirely possible.
Gravity falls.
I mean, Live Leaks is a website for a reason.
Just dump it in my nose, bro. Come on.
It's less addictive than nicotine.
Mike says he's had his eyeball buffed once. Depending on where you're at, that might be called something else. You might want to adjust the way you write that out.
Like with a
That's what I was thinking. That's a
polish
strange
off.
metaphor.
Like,
I've buffed a few eyeballs in my day, but that's not...
Here we go.
that looks dangerous.
If you can fit that up your nostril, I'll be impressed. There's really a part of me wanting you to have long hair right there and just not paying attention to fucking... It's too bad we're all bald.
I know. I feel so bald. Bald struggles.
Yeah. It's okay for you to be bald, Lumi, in certain areas, but the rest of us, it's a struggle because we don't have the option. It just grows in naturally that way.
Ooh, Lando with the zing.
My mom wants to know, Adam. My mom wants to know if you're famous. She says the song that you sang at the end of the song that I played at the end of the show sounded very familiar.
Which one was it?
I think it was Melt with You.
Yep. Yeah, I requested it.
Nice. I'm not famous.
You're famous in our circle.
Yes.
People need to get over there. People need to get over there to that frickin' Facebook group and vote so I can, so that we can get another fine rendition of a jukebox classic, if you will.
Yeah, I'm time this week. I was just so busy all week.
You know what I think? I'm half tempted to put a suggestion out here on how we could do it. We would move it to every 2 weeks. That way, it would be a week, and then we would do like a 1 through 50 again. And the person that wins the 1 through 50, they have 3 days to get in contact with Adam on the Facebook group and give him the song that he's gonna do. And the same rules apply. It still has to have charted top 50. I think that's fair. Yeah, it has to have charted in the U.S. top 50. But other than that, free game.
I like it.
That's my suggestion. And that way, it's once every 2 weeks. It gives you a week to do the thing, and then it gives you a week to put the song together, however you feel would work.
Yeah,
that's my suggestion.
Sometimes, like, I get busy on 4 or 5 days, and then I have 2 days, and then that 2 days, you have 3 hours free of one day, and then 2 hours the next day. I'm like rushing sometimes, and I'm like, I'm like swearing at my computer, and like in between like bad takes, I'm like fucking like yelling at myself, and like it should be fun, and it is fun, but like I put too much pressure on myself with everything I do. So
yeah, and I think spreading it out over 2 weeks, I think it's fair to you, because quite frankly, you're doing us all a favor, because me and Nick are both like using your songs for all of our fucking shows now.
That's fine with me. At least they get used after the show that they're initially on. They don't just sit in my Google Drive and do nothing.
Yeah,
because I don't listen to them.
I can't stand the sound of my own voice.
Where's my YouTube playlist?
It's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna upload them all on YouTube so people can just stream them whenever the hell they want. Without a Google Drive link.
Yeah, I have a bot that will announce the name of the song that I'm playing if people type in exclamation.
Yeah, Lumi was rocking Eddie and the Arsons playlist on her Twitch channel. They said thank you so much, by the way. They were like, that's awesome. My drummer came in, or he was watching it. He didn't have a Twitch account or whatever, and he was like, they're playing What's Happening to Me. Oh my God. I was like, yes, I'm going to play all the songs, buddy. So yeah, I think that's cool. I'll use
some Eddie and the Arson songs if he doesn't fucking copyright strike me.
No, it's we own like the music, so yeah.
This is the thing. I've done it before on my channel. I did it with Thesis, and I let him play some of his music, and then he turned around and copyright striked me.
Oh yeah, we would fuck that. No, Ed told me that like even like it to go as far as like if you need like a written thing signed by him saying I give full permission, I am the sole owner of this music and whatnot, he will do that for anybody who wants to play our music.
Fuck yeah, I'll start using some Eddie and the Arson tunes. Hell yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't know that happened with Thesis's music.
It wasn't a Thesis. It wasn't Thesis. It wasn't the sample that got me. It was the company that he did it through. The company that he did the song through, because he's got a shit ton of really awesome music. that's original, like the beats and everything are his, and he was playing those. And the company that owns the music that he did it through, they're the ones that copyright struck me. And so I reached out to Thesis, and Thesis like, no way, dude, I'll talk to him. And nothing ever happened. And I don't blame Thesis at all. Like Thesis, I guarantee he didn't think that the company was going to do that.
Yeah, they published or did something, or using it in a commercial way or something to where they had to do that, and that sucks, kind of, because you didn't know. And neither did he, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure like you said, wouldn't wanted that to happen. Thesis is a cool motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
It's funny as hell.
But those songs that he was rolling with were fucking badass.
Yeah, he had some pretty fat beats. It's like, damn, dude. He knows his shit, for sure.
Yeah, he's a hell of a musician and heck of a guy. Heck of a guy. I love it. I love that dude. We should have a Thesis episode again, but instead of a regular episode of Fresh from the Kitchen, it would just be me and Thesis just bullshitting back and forth. Like and me and him, I guarantee me and Thesis could cover 2 hours, no problem.
He was on Ken's channel the other night.
Not Fresh from the Kitchen, Fresh from Concentrates. I still don't know exactly when I want to move Fresh from Concentrate or Fresh from the Kitchen to. Like it's as much as I hate to say it, it's kind of nice having Giz not feeling well. Because I can just throw the show up there, and me and Lumi can cover the 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind hanging out with Lumi for 2 hours. It's a blast. It's a blast.
Yeah, it was a
hanging
good
out
show
with the
last
ones.
night.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Lumi had a lot of fun on the show last night. So I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that at all. But yeah, once he's feeling better and he wants his time slot back.
Maybe we'll get lucky and Mark Fagan will move his show off of Sunday and we could just swoop in and steal it. So we'll both keep an eye on that.
Well, Mark's been talking about that for years, so I don't know.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
See, Mark Fagan he's a really funny guy, a really awesome guy to know, but he's lazy. And so lazy that he wouldn't move his show to another time because then he'd have to think about something.
And how do I get?
And no offense, Mark. Please don't take offense to that. If someone says Fresh 03 was talking shit about you and you come back and you watch this, I wasn't talking shit. Well, I kind of was, but I meant it in the best way possible. Mark, like I love Mark Fagan to death. I love that dude, but. Moving his show, I don't think it's ever going to happen because he's used to the pattern. And
go back to Mark's old videos and watch him cover Green Day and Nickelback songs. It's fucking
hell
great.
Yeah.
So this nichrome wire feels really weird compared to braiding with stainless steel.
Softer. It feels softer.
It's getting like tangled easier.
Yes, it's very soft. Like lots of people don't really like braiding with nichrome as much as stainless. Stainless and Kanthal are very good to braid with. Nichrome is very soft, especially if you ever tried 90, I don't even know if it would be very possible to braid with 90. It would probably get ruined. But yeah, it's very soft nichrome.
What are the chances of me snapping this with how much pressure I'm putting on it?
Yeah, it's probably better chances than stainless, but I mean, people do it with nichrome 80. It's definitely possible, but it's definitely going to feel different.
It's good to have your blessing for braiding Kanthal. Crazy Face McGee told me, do not braid Kanthal in all caps.
He would know better. It probably does snap easily. It
snaps easy.
Yeah.
I pulled that shit on your uncle.
But
is that like your old building videos Fresh?
No.
When he had too much tension on it and just snapped everywhere.
That is what I did to your uncle. Remember, he was trying to teach me how to do a fuse Clapton, even though I know how to do fuse Claptons, and so I was just doing exactly what he told me. And so, like, I just started, like, he's like, put some tension on that. So I just pulled that fucker as hard as I could. And I was praying that lead was going to snap, and thank God it did on the show. So it snapped, and I kind of left it there, and I just kind of put my face down under the camera, just kind of looking at Yunkel like that. and then I went back and reloaded everything, and I did the dang thing in like 30 seconds. I did like a foot in like 30 seconds. I'm like, all right, Yunk.
Gotta love fucking with people.
Our Willoughby James agrees with me. Fagan can't move his show. That would interrupt the nap schedule. Everybody knows Mark. That's all I'm saying. Everybody knows Mark. So trying to find a good spot for it is, I don't know.
Okay.
See, I think Big Lou and the Winston man would yell at each other, and Thesis would be in the back like, "What up, ninjas?" And then he'd just start like blasting samples. like those two are just screaming, and everyone else is paying attention to what they're saying to each other. And then Thesis can't take it anymore, and he needs the attention. And then he just throws Rap God on and just starts laying his own lyrics down over the top of it. Like all right, Thesis.
There was a video somewhere of me rapping Rap God.
There's a video of you somewhere rapping Rap God?
Yes. I'm hoping it's no longer accessible, but there is a video somewhere.
Well,
like,
now that you
wait a minute,
announced it, I'm sure somebody's going to find it.
Like, someone's totally going to go looking for that and find it.
Good luck, because you need to know a lot of my previous nicknames.
You know, somebody downloaded that and put it on like whitegirlwasted.com or something.
Like, I met Mr. Loomy the first night he hopped into a voice chat with me. I was rapping Dark Lotus, Bitch I'm Sexy. That's how Nick got introduced to me.
And he still married you in the end.
Well, I killed my hamster. He had no choice.
I always thought that was a rabbit.
Say what?
Yeah, like, wait a minute.
You killed your hamsters so Nick would marry you?
No,
So-
he picked on my hamster, and then my hamster bit him out of retaliation for him picking on my hamster. And Nick's blood in his mouth gave him some kind of disease, and he started losing chunks of hair, and eventually he died.
Wait a minute, and then you still married him.
I
So
get to
it killed another living creature. And
I get to use this as my excuse to get a lot of shit out of him. I'll be like, you killed my hamster.
So basically what you're telling... Okay, I got it. Oh, I see what happened here.
It's a
Did the
lifelong card
traditional-
Harry.
That's right. She's done the traditional woman thing. No offense, ladies. But you
She's
are
married.
all...
That's what it's. That's
See,
how it
so
goes.
that's what... so that's the secret of a long-lasting relationship. Okay, so you
have
do...
to be an archaeologist and be able to dig up shit from the past.
So somewhere early in the relationship, you do something that's completely unfucking forgivable, and you give them that card for the rest of the time, and then it's a happy marriage because every time you're like, hey honey, can we go out to dinner tonight? And you're like, no, I work 12 hours a day. I'm really tired. And she's like, you slept with my sister. And you're like, oh, all right, fine. We're going to fucking dinner.
Well, and that's the thing about married women.
Like these huge debates over him killing my hamster because it was several months after the likelihood of him actually doing it, and just the fact that the hamster didn't get something from PetSmart.
See, exactly. That's the quote unquote married woman tactic. It doesn't necessarily have to be a "you slept with my sister" thing. It's a "you did a thing, and I can remind you of the thing."
We both get a good kick out of it. I'm not a complete asshole.
Of course.
So I mean,
that's the thing. Yeah.
I'm bouncing back and forth here because I'm like either hanging out with Lumi requires the sacrifice of small animals at some point in the relationship,
Allegedly.
or allegedly.
No confirmations. That's right.
You know, giving you have to put the hamster next to the microwave for 5 minutes so that it gets hamster cancer or something.
Just gonna get a little bit of cancer,
Thinking
Stan.
about my hamster, so he deserved to get bitten by my hamster.
Or just make sure you have all your shots. This way the hamster lives.
Yeah.
Oh. There's the hamster bouncing around on his beach balls, singing "Buffalo Soul."
Oh, you gotta be more crafty than that.
Matt, you don't re-wick a jewel. You throw the pot away and get a new one.
Take her in. Damn it. Leafa's not here. You stuff her up your butt.
Stuff her up your butt.
Stuff her up your butt and smuggle it into prison.
I do not like braiding this, and I have a lot of this stuff to go still.
Learning experience, huh?
She was so excited for the Canthol and the Nichrome. Now that she's got it in her hands, disappointment.
I just popped the blister and the skin peeled off of my last braiding situation that happened.
You're just digging a new one.
So
it's cool. You're just gonna have all calloused up hands and shit, and you'll be good.
I'm hoping that'll happen soon.
Yeah, it won't hurt so much anymore.
I don't know. You go to touch Mr. Lumi, he's going to think he's being touched by a man if your hands was that rough.
She had man hands.
Adam and I were having a good time playing with my peel last night.
This is true. Well, to be fair, I was watching you play with your pee-hole.
I was so excited to have my pee-hole back.
Sweet baby Jesus.
So was the pee-hole, like the pee-hole was swollen shut, or like you were excited to have it back? Like what happened to the pee-hole? I mean, like now.
Well, occasionally I wear women's pajamas, so I don't get a pee-hole anymore.
Oh, okay. So you were wearing men's PJs and you were flapping your vagina in the wind. Got it. Lumi just like Lumi just stands up and just like she opens it. She opens it as wide as she can and takes off running. Freedom.
That's what I was doing, and then I came up with a great idea. I asked Adam if he ever could play origami with his pee hole. Like this conversation went wild because I got this great idea that I want to play origami with somebody's pee hole, and then it got into Adam talking about people hammering things into their pee hole as a fetish.
Sounding, it is called.
Okay.
I'm just saying I don't need to be rotted off the range.
No, because I've inadvertently wandered into one of those videos and it's like, oh Jesus, no, click.
Can't unsee that shit. Can't
no,
unsee
that stays with you.
Yep.
Like that video title lied to me. You said nothing about any of this nonsense going on. You just said hot redhead.
Yeah, fresh.
Oh, the
if
early
you've
days
ever
of the internet.
considered after leaving me with your Zoom room for the night and hopping back in randomly, you don't even know what you'd walk into by the time you hop back in throughout the night. Shit gets weird.
We have fun.
Yes, one thing when I leave my Zoom room to somebody else, usually it's pretty safe. It's usually like say Seal and Adam will just sitting there and just are bullshitting, or Mary Beth or somebody. It's like, yeah, okay, it's good. If I come back later, I'm sure it'll be closed.
Have a good one, Kim.
Later, Kim. Oh, shit. Oh, that was quick. All right, ladies and gents, we're gonna take it around the room.
Oh, nice.
It is that time. I'm gonna run this sumbitch out of here, and we'll see you guys next week. So, who wants to go first?
I will. So yeah, thanks for having me, TJ. Love hanging out with you all you guys every Wednesday. Blah blah blah, same old shit every week. Join the group. Pick a song. I'm gonna randomize it like in 2 or 3 days, 4 days maybe, or whatever, and then we'll present that song next week, and then we'll try Fresh's thing starting next Wednesday for show. Although that will kind of null and void the group. Although, I mean, it could just be like a fun group, I guess, for talking about music. I don't know. But I mean, it's whatever. I kind of like the 2-week idea for sure. So, yeah. But yes.
Or we could just set it for 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, you randomize, pick a song, and off you go.
Yeah, I mean, we'll discuss.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. But yeah,
discuss it in the group. Discuss it in the group.
join the group. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll discuss what we like. So yeah, join the group. Check out my bands, Eddie and the Arsons, The Disheartened. I make Eliquid. I'm Adam. Eliquidrecipes.com. Make some of them. Tell me what you think. Yeah, and it's a fucking blast as always. Let's go with DTF.
Well, as always, thanks. It's always fun hanging out. I don't get to hang out enough with you guys. Tonight was fun. Got my heart rate up. Probably wasn't good for my blood pressure, but fuck it, it's all right. Yeah, like we were talking about earlier. Pay attention to your local towns, your states. Get to know your representatives, ones that your tax money is paying for. Find out what their position is on on vaping as well as other things that are important to you. And as always, check us out Sunday afternoons, 2 p.m. Eastern. This week on Mixing in the Kitchen, we're doing puddings. So I guess we're going to be talking about Bill Cosby, not putting it where you don't need to be putting it.
I've got mine right here, brah.
There you go. Thanks, brother. And I will pass it to Lumi.
Hi. Thank you all for having me and putting up with my insanity every Wednesday and Tuesday and Monday and Friday. I appreciate the company you guys give me and the amusement. That's it. Have a nice night.
Go on, pass the buck.
Oh, sticker!
That's not my name.
Then why'd you let him here?
Well, thanks for having me, TJ, even though I didn't talk for like the entire show. Everybody support the people that support us. And I actually have something I want to show. It's new on the site. And it's this.
Very
Look at that
cool.
product placement.
Ooh.
What's
Ooh,
that?
fancy, huh?
Damn.
Oh, you can't even see it. Oh, there it goes.
Damn.
Gizzard Brew.
Is that Gizzard
Damn,
Blue?
Jesse.
It's made to. It's made to. The big ones hold the 100 and 120 ml bottles, and the smaller ones hold the 60s, like you just seen.
You clever son of a gun, you.
And then 6 atomizers and 5 drip tips. But they're on the site.
Damn, Jesse. Back at it with a kick and stab.
What? I missed that.
Somebody's got to grab that. That's fucking funny.
Hashtag bringing it back.
Jesse, pass the buck.
I'm totally fucking lost on that. Nick.
Everybody have a good week. I did start to sell some coils again, so hit me up on Instagram. It's a gang of aliens I just did on this show. So, boom, goes the dynamite, I think. Check out Adore Eliquid, and don't forget to go over to I'm No Joe on YouTube, especially if you're in, well, mostly if you're in the MMA and UFC, and follow, and don't forget to sub to it, hit the bell. I think there's going to be a show coming up very soon. And that's it. Yeah, check out Jesse, Adore Eliquid, and everybody have a good week. Thanks for having me. Let's us pass it to... Did Adam go?
Adam started.
Fuck it, do it again. We like your voice.
Fresh.
All right. What's happening, everybody? So once again, there will be no Friday or Saturday show this week. I will be in the mountains, probably out of cell phone service, probably out of all sorts of service. So
I'm alone in the woods.
Yeah, so everybody go visit thepinkpussylist.com. Remember to put the in front there. Otherwise, you'll wind up somewhere unmentionable, and you could actually see someone inserting things into their pee hole. You don't want to do that. You want the discount codes, or you could go watch people put things in their pee hole and then go and get your discount codes. LucidRDA.com, everybody. Talking about putting stuff in your pee hole. Go get a dreamer.
Want to put a dreamer in your pee hole?
No, not particularly. But I mean, somebody's gonna want to. Like life. This is my life advice, everybody. Life is filled with infinite choices. Make yours wisely. Everybody, be beautiful to each other. Educate, advocate, be good for this community. Over to TJ at the toddler tantrum desk.
Oh yes, it is the toddler tantrum desk tonight. You guys all missed that before the show started. I didn't know that I was actually going to be on the show. Somebody was being a little asshat and waking up every couple of minutes. Yeah, he's out now. I think the Benadryl worked. No, I'm just kidding. I did not drug him. Just so everybody knows, I did not drug my child. Sounds good in theory, but that shit probably wouldn't work on him anyways because he's an asshole. But he's an awesome little asshole. First and foremost, as always, thank you all for coming out. I love you all. You guys are the reason why I keep coming back every week. So keep hanging out with us. We'll keep doing this. And the rate this is going, in about another year and a half, you'll finally see me jump off my roof. Glad we had a chance to talk some advocacy. It ran longer than I thought it was going to, talking about little bits and pieces and some news and stuff that came up there, which is perfectly fine. There he is. Like,
you didn't learn from me this week not to jinx shit like that?
Yep. It was, you know what it was? We needed something to be jinxed. Luckily, Mom is home at this time, so I don't have to worry about it now. So, I'm going to shut the monitor off, and we're good. Sorry it took a little longer. We didn't get into as much shenanigans as normal, but at the same time, I'm glad to do some things like that once in a while, so that way we can have a good, solid talk about some actual vaping once in a while, rather than constant shenanigans. Don't get me wrong, shenanigans, favorite thing. And anybody else has shenanigans again? Does anybody else want to follow the end of that there?
Shenanigans?
Thank you.
Wee little shenanigans.
No. Guys, do your part. Educate, advocate, pay attention to your local community levels. That doesn't mean to forget about everything else that's going on, but definitely pay attention at your local levels, because that's where the shit starts. So, go that route. Go support everybody in the community that supports us. We know who they are. Go support companies that make good decisions for our community in their business practices. I'm going to say that outright. There's a lot of them out there. Eliquid, Deep Cuts, Vaping Swag, Stand Up 3D. There's all of them. They're doing fantastic things for the community. Support those guys. I'm not telling you to not support others, but it's on you on if you want to support people with shady business practices. I'm not going to judge you. Just stay off the stinkies. That's all I ask. And that, I will see you guys next week, and we'll do something fun next week. Speaking of which, before I go and before I forget, would anyone like to take the ball for next week and start the show out?
Jesse still hasn't gone. I don't think Adam's gone. I don't think Nick Devine's gone.
Adam is exempt.
Way to throw everybody under the bus there, Lumi.
I know Lumi's just like, oh look, the Route 574 is coming along. Everybody into the street.
I'm just saying, if anybody would like to, it's up to them. If not, that's fine. I can manage it again. I am still going to pick some other sort of topic for advocacy to start the show next week, but I still want somebody else to pick their own 10-minute little piece about whatever the fuck it is. It can be upside down fucking underwater basket weaving or greased up deaf guy midget wrestling. I don't care.
Nick Devine still hasn't gone. Meter hasn't gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going. I could go either next week, the week after, whatever. I don't care.
Whatever. But yeah, you could let me know whoever wants to go. You don't have to pick right now. We can pick later. Doesn't matter. Just let me know, and somebody else will run it for their little portion of whatever the fuck they want to talk about. Maybe we want to have the meter do it. Maybe we can have a little chat about the devil's lettuce. I'm pretty sure he knows a good bit there. Anyhow, speaking of the one, the only, the meter babes, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to him. Love you guys. Catch y'all later. Meters, the show is yours.
First and foremost, TJ, thank you for having a show every Wednesday that lunatics like this can rely on to relax and unwind all the fucking insanity going on here. And a crowd like we've got that comes to watch faces like these every week cannot be thanked enough for coming back. You guys are the reason that we get to do this, because otherwise we'd just be hanging out on Facebook talking shit in the Fresh Piece recipe book. But thank you guys for coming. TJ, thank you for having the show. This week, the only thing that I would want to impart to the people, the homework, if you will, that I would ask that everyone watching or listening to this show would take part in: education. And I don't mean you have to go back to college. I don't mean you got to go get that GED. I'm looking at you people. What I mean is you need to educate yourself affecting your life, be it the vape legislation we're talking about, be it potential flavor bans, be it your local municipality changing the taxes for the roadwork. All I ask is that everyone watching this or listening to this, go out this week and educate yourself thoroughly on one thing that is affecting your life to better yourself. Because the only way that we can fight for what we love is by constantly educating ourselves, take in new information, create informed decisions. That will transfer over into all aspects of your life. So just take this time this week to help yourself so that you can help. You have to be able to be there for other people. We have to band together, or we will be banned together.
I do have one last parting thought that I would like to put out there. Everybody pay close attention to DTF this weekend. In case his Philadelphia Eagles should lose, I want everybody to check on him. Make sure he doesn't decide to rip the wheel of the truck into the ditch. He's still got important things to do, so make sure we're paying attention. If they win, fuck him. You don't have to message him, but if they lose, message the shit out of him.
Don't message me.
Been a fantastic show. Love you guys. Who wants to take us out?
Remember, as you go through your week, try to be nice to at least one person, if you can. And get off your butts and vape. Butts?
Bye.
Bye.